Welcome back to my channel. Today I visited an art exhibition of the artist, art designer, art director, Tim Yep. He's only 51 years old, but he's super famous, and perhaps if you like Chinese movie or Hollywood movie, you probably know his work. He's the art director and custom designer for the Crouching Tiger, Hiding Dragon, you know, that Hollywood Chinese movie. And he's very famous for all sort of custom designs in the movies, especially Hong Kongese movies, Hollywood movies, and that's why he's very well known in China. And this exhibition is huge. It's in today's art museum. It occupies 3 floors, from the 2nd floor to the 4th floor. And it's a 3-month exhibition, and because today is my last full day in China, so I decided to take this opportunity to meet my friend in this exhibition and go and check them out. It's the first time I was at this today's art museum, and I realized that it was more than just an art museum. It's an art museum complex. The main building is very beautiful, and you could just escalate from the exterior building and you can overlook at the large-scale sculpture. And I think it's Fan Lijun because he had this very famous smile of these people, and I call this smile as Coca-Cola smile because it's Coca-Cola and it means like super funny in Chinese, and it's hilarious. As you can see, the expression, and it's very iconic for, like, I think it stands for an entire era of Chinese contemporary art. For this exhibition, I expected something to be a lot more science fiction because it's about time, it's about immortality, it's about the intelligence and the spirit of the mankind. Like the 1st floor, which is the 2nd floor, I couldn't see anything because I'm night blind. And it was so dark that I almost wanted to go and borrow a blind walking stick because I had to use my hand to touch the walls and the curtains and trying to find my way through this floor. And after that, the 3rd floor, like the 2nd floor that you approach, was completely a floor of costumes design. And it's very like a fashion show, not like an art museum show. And if I knew that this whole floor was a custom design, I would totally skip it. Tim Yep is a custom designer, is a fashion and art director. And I knew that he was famous for that, and there's no problem that he wanted to integrate some kind of what he's famous for. Like, people came there for his works and to show his works in a certain way. There's no problem. And I was just wondering why the whole floor was just fashion design. And I looked on the tickets. There is the title sponsor is Lancy Group. Lancy Group is a high-end female fashion designer brand. It's a huge company and in China, and I realized that, okay, maybe because of the sponsorship, they want to make it relevant and they pushed for maybe more costumes. I don't know, but I am quite uneasy seeing, I'm not saying that art museums shouldn't show fashion designers' works or shouldn't have the heavy fashion design kind of collections. I think it's fine, but if I knew that it's not about space travel, immortality, but about pretty dresses, I wouldn't be there. I just wouldn't be there. Because I am quite angry about being born as a female in Asia. And I talked with a Caucasian artist from London a few days ago, and he was like completely shocked, and he was like, what do you mean? It's so cool to be, it's so training to be a female, and if you're a female artist in America, you get more exposure, and that's like, you can play cute, you can play sexy, you can play wise, you can play, you know, rich, and you can play whatever, and I can only play a Caucasian man. And I was like, okay, you know, that was a Joker card, right? He didn't think so. And I want to talk about if you're an artist and if you always worked in the art industry, perhaps you're not, or you did not experience the gender issue, but if you work in any private company or in the, you know, free markets in a company as an employee, you perhaps will experience some kind of glass ceiling, and the glass ceiling was rather a glass door, not the company glass door, but the other aspect of glass door. I want to give you this example. A few years ago, while I was studying in China to be trained as a film producer, in the class that we were asked to divide into 6-person groups, and we were given randomly a card, and we were dealt a card, and we must play this role play. Out of the 6 people, 2 are employers, 4 are employees, and they are interviewees. And as an employer, I got the employer card. I must spot who was the female, potentially or already pregnant female, and not to hire her. Even today, as a practice, it is totally normal, because if you hire a pregnant woman, it means that she could not work at all until that she gave birth, breastfeed and everything, and came back, and you must continue paying her without lowering her salary, without firing her. A lot of female take advantage of this policy, and when they found out they were pregnant, and they would just rush to find a whatever job, and then just to have a free maternity leave, completely paid by the company. And the government obligated the companies to do that without giving extra fund to the company. So the company must suck it up. If you hire a pregnant woman, you are doomed. And a lot of SMEs would even, I wouldn't say bankrupt, but would really struggle. And I totally understand. Back then, even today, I understand, but still, it doesn't make it better. Like, I understand that men want to violate women. Okay, I understand that you might want to do that. But it's not right. Just because you want to do it and it's a human nature to do it, it doesn't make it right. It doesn't make it less disgusting than what it is. And I think there's nothing more gender-oriented and gender-biased than the fashion industry. And perhaps it's just my own opinion, but I think everybody's opinion came from their own experience. And I never enjoyed fashion shows. I never liked to look at Victoria's Secrets or all this kind of things that is just about bias, or let's say gender awareness. And it's awareness in a negative way, like, oh, I'm a Barbie, I'm aware, I'm pretty, I'm aware. It's like, no, we don't need that. I'm explaining you this story back then in China, and explaining you that how it might, how a woman might experience in the private corporate world. It is a problem. Just because you don't know that is a problem, that is not a problem. It is still a problem, and I would not have liked to see this if I came for a science fiction art show in a museum. I didn't come to a fashion designer's show, and that was the part that I didn't quite like. But as soon as I entered the 3rd floor, I felt a lot better, and I really enjoyed this installation of this robot woman who appeared to be the Sophia. Okay, not as pretty as Sophia. Sophia, hi, if you're watching this, I'm sure that you are watching this anyway. And then another like a sex doll type woman overlooking at the immortal woman, or never alive woman, I don't know. It's a very funny installation. I liked it, and the light, the effects were beautiful, and it's like you are on set in a fancy, heavy on After Effects CG kind of movie, which I enjoyed. And this is the stuff that I came for, not the pretty dresses. Today I visited the Today Art Museum, and this is what I have seen, and I enjoyed it, but I thought that it's better they would have advertised that or put it on the side, put it on the top floor, so it's optional or something. Yeah, that's it. I don't know if you have experienced and if you are upset with the gender issues in the art world, but many people have told me that in the art world, working as a freelance artist is not a problem, because it's about your work and you don't even have to disclose your gender. You just can make a art name, and you can completely go gender neutral, and you can make up a fake identity if you wish, like many writers 3 centuries ago, and that's good. That's good. And I think another advantage of working as a freelance, as an independent artist, apart from all the disadvantages that you must be responsible for. Okay, that's all what I want to say today. Thank you very much for watching. Tomorrow I'm heading back to Europe finally, and I will see you there.